It is what it is. How we doing? Oh, I see Lisa has joined us. Hello, Lisa. How are we today? The watch party was very fun last night. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well for what you could watch. We are gonna do Ace Attorney for about the next 3 hours. We just wrapped up some Trails of Cold Steel 3, which was a lot of fun. You love Catfish? It's a fun show. Although that episode wasn't great. The one from last week, though, the Mother Wolf episode was fantastic. Can't believe Ace Attorney at this time. Yeah. So I have plans later tonight. So we're gonna do Ace Attorney about 3 hours right now, and then I'm gonna be heading out to do some stuff with Grant tonight. So that is the plan. Yeah. So what happened last time? Last time we chapter 5'd it up, right? We had the whole, oh god, a lot happened on the last stream. The snack lady and we saw the bellboy from the hotel again. Meekins, right. Meekins is arrested. Yeah, I know there was a few people in chat that were, like, there were some Meekins fans. I don't quite know what to make of him yet. But it seems like well, we should just play and it'll come back to me. What did Meekins do? Exist? Oop! Alright. Okay, so this is our most recent one. Oh, why that took me so long to register. I think the file lists what time I was playing it. So... Oh, right! We had, our luminol. We've been using our luminol, to examine stuff. I don't remember what the last thing they said was. I love the idea of, like, spraying luminol on this person. Screwdriver. Fingerprinting set. Recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with fingerprint file. Okay. Great. We put together that unstable jar. That was definitely interesting. There's a handprint on this blue badger, and we're not allowed to, luminol it. Can I examine it? give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he is dancing. Speaking of dancing, the whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel he's going to do something naughty. Okay, so the handprint is literally not examinable. Look, that patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. Answer me, how many fingers did you see? Sorry, I don't know. That's 20 for left and nowhere near that for right. It wasn't a salute, it was an eye test. They make a good pair. Shoot. I don't remember what just happened. We were in here, and then we left. Maybe we need to go to the detention center? Okay. What can I present to Meekins? We like Emma. Emma's fun. Okay. So he doesn't know about it. Scene of... Oh, did I need to show this to Meekins? Miles Edgeworth, Bruce Goodman. Right! There was this whole thing with him actually dying in the evidence room and not in the parking garage, which is very confusing. Oh. Doesn't know what it is. Yeah, that one of them is all sevens. That's definitely strange. Okay, Meekins is not helpful. Maybe we go somewhere else. What to do? Well, where should we begin? Isn't it obvious? We should begin with, you know, that thing. Oh. Epic 7. We should go to the police department, the evidence room. Oh. Really? But we were already there. Okay. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. To use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Oh! Right. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. Finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. Maybe the thumb? I can't really tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. The middle finger! Okay, Rosie, you.
Pardonnez-moi.
Okay, now it's time to check the prints. Let me show you how it's done. Just starting to get that sparkle in our eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Oh, how do you do that? The X button, see? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? The triangle button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. You got a birthday cake this year. Oh my goodness. Did you, was it your birthday recently? Thoughts? Guess I better give it a try. On Tuesday? Well, happy belated.
Happy birthday.
AA early today?
This?
I don't really know what this is. Yeah. I'm gonna be ending stream early, so I wanted to make sure that I got started early. You did it. You found one. This looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time. Roast is cooking? Asia tonight! Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for the other prints? 8 hours in the slow cooker? Nice. That's gonna be so good. And if it's not, then rip $30. Also, hi, Ifrit. I don't think I said hi. Do you care to share how old we are turning this year, Dots? Or we turned, I should say. I browned it and everything. Oh, perfect. It better be good. What are you gonna have for sides with it? I feel like roast goes really well with, like, potatoes and greens. How do you brown it? Looking at the locker door again closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside of the blood. Soy sauce, gochujang, brown sugar, and Chinese cooking wine, and poison. And beans? No, no, no! Also, hi, Tom. Alright, are you ready? I'm just gonna cover the screen in powder. How come it's not? Aren't we done here? Do I need to just keep doing this? Oh! A print so clear as it's dazzling! Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person who you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would most likely be found on this evidence locker? Oh my god. Hey, Barry. You're gonna have it with rice? Are you anti-potato, Tux? Has Daddy Damon seduced you with swimming? He has been here. He did not seduce me, however. Aha! Detective Gumshoe, I see. It's a match. Yeah, they made Damon Gant pretty handsome. I will agree. I like my men like I like my oranges. Orange? Lisa? Too bad the victim's dead. Armin! Thank you for the 71 months.
Tribby waiting room.
Tribby? Wait, what is that?
No. Shut up.
Explanation need. Gumshoe is only 30? I know. I'm glad that we agreed, Tom. Don't ask about Tribby. Oh, it's an HSR character. Ah, and it's that type of Armin character. It's not Booba. It's more... Gumshoe had my internet searches in a chokehold when I first played Ace Attorney. My goodness. Luna? Tux? So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. I'm a bit surprised how often I see Gumshoe Bara. I mean... It's pretty handsome. Something wrong, Mr. Wright. You gave me this so what look. Yes, that's probably because I was thinking... Oh, I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Okay. Where was the other handprint? Do we need to re-luminol? Well, like, that's all blood over there. Oh. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here! Okay! Wanna try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, well, check for prints. I have to do something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it by using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Do you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. You're having beer and non-existent popcorn? Well, hopefully the beer exists. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. I got pretty overwhelmed by Cold Steel. We were doing Cold Steel earlier, Barry. There was so many conversations at the party. It was a little loony. So I don't see any prints anywhere. Oh. Alright, get the powder. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. This actually looks like it could be Damon. Oh. Well, wait a sec. Is it Jake Marshall? Oh. Wait, what? How do I feel about Emma and no Maya so far? I like Emma. I might like Emma more than Maya, to be honest. I think the main difference is I like doing Maya's voice, so I'm noticing that she's not here, but other than that, I'm just like, eh. Okay. So... Jake Marshall and Angel Starr are both ex-policemen or detectives, right? So they clearly have a motive. The two of them have a motive, like, to work together, I would say. And they also worked on the SL9 case, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm feeling like... Okay, this is an interesting development. I wasn't expecting to get his fingerprints at all. I was thinking it would be like we find his, or his, or his. Gumshoes make sense, because he goes there, yeah. But, alright. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? Meekins! Yeah, Meekins could have been... You could have found his, too. It's Officer Marshall! Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Wait, what does that mean? That it was an actual bloody hand that touched the locker. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped bloodstain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it! I don't believe it! Oh wow, we were very close to it to be continued. Alright, on we go. You don't say. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean. But Lana! Have we considered the possibility of Goodman having an evil twin named Badman? Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. This guy. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? Lana is a baddie, yeah. We have to play the cards we have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Alright, here we go again. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Considered getting more into scarves next winter? I am very excited at the prospect of living somewhere where there is winter weather again. I will 100% be getting out my scarf collection that has laid dormant for the last 10 years. And I can't wait. Scarves are like my favorite winter accessory by far. SC has Winter. Get out of here! You! Get out! The defense is ready, Your Honor.
My goodness, how awful!
I also got a toque, which, is a new thing for me to experience, but I will be toquing next winter. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. Suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Meekins time. Woo boy! Things are getting wild from the get-go. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir! Hi, 10K. Happy Saturday. So you're telling us you're a professional killer, sir? It was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. Got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgewood, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir? Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Do we have any Meekins defenders in chat? Because this is not off to a good start. He's basically convinced himself he did it, or is lying to the court, and is a self-proclaimed helpless Zoomer. Can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. See how they don't show his face? Actually, does he have a polka dotted? He does. Okay. Never mind. I thought I was onto something. I wished I liked him along the lines of other gag characters like Lotta, Larry, and Bag, but he doesn't land for me. If Meekins has no haters, I'm dead. Beacons, your ankles. Oh wait, what's wrong with them? Wait, why is he dressed like that, actually? You should at least have socks on. Huh? Why you call? Who? Why you call? Who is this? I make appointments. Abracadabra. That's, you know what? Me and Phil doing that last night without having listened was great. It was comedic gold and genius. Oh, hello, Jam. Look at this Ace Attorney on a Saturday afternoon. What is this? Who are we? The worst thing is that the timeline-wise, he's a helpless millennial, not a zoomer. Hate that. Hate that as a millennial. I think you're onto something with that ascot. The polka dots look different. Oh. Right, there's two colored polka dots there, yeah? You're going to regret this. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. I did not just burp while saying that. Pardon me. After that, after I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you! That's the Meekins family motto, sir! I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yeah, the neck it was a choice. Parking lot with a car. Do we have a... You like the goofy smile? There's definitely... The scarf is gonna come up, for sure. Like, look at that scarf. That is one type of polka dot there. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Goodman might be the cutest profile we have in this case. Wait, really? Nah. Not for me. Gumshoes, number 1. Second place, Damon Gant. Out of the newbies? I don't know. I would put both of these guys above him. Pop-Up Queen is number 1. I mean, she is icon for sure, but I'm not sleeping with her. Okay. Although it's not my normal duty. Okay, so I think we just press everything that he says, because the game hinted that I need to get info, not necessarily contradict right now. Okay. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir! I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir! Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. Oh, does Jake have long hair? Minus 5 points. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. You can still see the handprint on it, can't you? You can, it's there. Yeah, this is Steven's namesake reference. You know, it's funny, this is actually easier for me to see on my stream preview than it is on my actual monitor. In terms of, the color of the hand. That was my sole mission for the day, sir! I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Spotted the suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. Okay. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? So, there it is, I found it! This is the one right here. Is he the all sevens? Oh. So he's 4, 9, 8, 9, 5, 9, 6. Okay. So this doesn't make any sense then, right? Because he said he saw the suspicious person. Well, I guess that would have to be Edgeworth? Or 7777777, who's probably the imposter Goodman. And we know that Jake Marshall was in there too. Okay, so yeah, this is getting complicated. I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is being shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh. Second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. See, so it was during that second time when... Yes, sir, that was when I was spotted on... That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened? It was a knife, sir! A knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, then I did it! What exactly do you mean when you say did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. right, so you took his knife. Spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. Must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of blood, and then, the next thing I knew, punched me right in the face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins. In regard to that, sir. Look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning. The chief? Heard it. What is that? A videotape? Not VHS. Isn't this supposed to be set in like 2015? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection!
What? But I specifically asked you if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. Video of the real murder. Uh-huh. Yeah, covering the face. Where'd he go? Oh. Wait. Was that cloth? The cloth wasn't sticking out of the evidence locker till the very end, right? Okay. So that means the person in disguise has to be, Jake Marshall. Interesting. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Okay, so let's just watch this again real quick. Yeah, no cloth. Something fell down. Yeah, it's okay. Oh god. I know, the convenient... I wonder why the music doesn't play while you rewatch it. That was like the best part of this. Okay, well, we basically know... Oh, is it looping? Yeah, Meekin said he threw hands, however... he just got thrown by the other person's hands. Yes, well anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of, activity took place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir! As you wish, sir! His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir! I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. How would he have opened that? That is a really good point. How... Johnny Fairplay's grandmother died, but for real? Oh, wow. Well, time to put him on another season of Survivor. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. Is it? It must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Don't know where this cross-examination will be, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Alright, here we go. His face can't be seen clearly in the video. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with the knife? Yes, sir. You must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face. I believe I would be classified as the latter. Latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. That's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. Well, we can take that away when you're wrong. There's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. You don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify. Early stream and early end, I'll have to watch the archive. Yeah, Nano. We did about 3 hours of Cold Steel. Oh, and we finished Altina's Bond, so we got a bonus scene with her. You'll like that. And then I've been doing Ace Attorney for about the last hour. We'll be going for, like, just shy of 2 more hours. This trial is getting very interesting, though. I actually... I like the interactive investigation evidence type stuff going on. Like, the fingerprinting is really cool. The luminol is really, really cool. And I love that our main form of evidence here is this video. It's all very fun and cool. I think this might actually be my favorite trial in this game so far. Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... beacons. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. How do we know that was Goodman's locker? About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? Workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information from a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must have been him, and no one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir, please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important to the case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is... unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange! This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction! I like how I chose this prompt because the game clearly wants me to do this to advance, but I don't really know what the contradiction is. I mean... let's let it play in the background while we talk. And so Nano can see it. I think... him visiting that locker on the edge there is significant. Also, why was the light on above the locker before he got there? And what just fell out right there? Was he bleeding? Did you guys see that? I want to verify. Yeah, and why is the light on there? Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Watch the shoulder after he encounters with the Meekins. Yeah! Big blood splatter on his shoulder. Okay. Indicator lamp lights up when it's open. We got it. The light is on at the start of the video, which means it's not closed. Meaning either Edgeworth or 7777 or Mike Meekins himself opened it themselves prior to. Yep. Got it. We figured it out. Alright, let's go. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in video. He would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. We just watched it. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. Did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not... Bing, 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 bing. Take that! Thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir? Do you mean me, sir? As I understand. Why is the music playing while he does this? As I understand, the locker apparatus works like this. Good luck, Perry, with this drinking game. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, it's rewind. Let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit! Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Is that a sound clip? Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down! Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor. Something jammed the sensor? There's something else that seems out of place in the video. I thought so too, yeah. We need to present jam. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Uh-oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do this time. Favorite flavor of jam? Probably strawberry. Locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Shit! Bing, bing, bing. Oh, I know what it is! I know what it is! It's a thing that falls out of it. Raspberry is also really good. I'm partial to grape, too. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. A glove?! I'm making another IKEA trip, getting the lingonberry jam. Sounds good? Okay. I've never had that. Huckleberry? Never had it. Describe it, Armin.
Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. It's mainly in Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. It's like blueberry. Oh, interesting. What color is it? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it has been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances. We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Well, it's Polish. Inserted! Do you do other things with Huckleberry other than make jam out of it? Ice cream! That sounds good. This white thing isn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of watching the... But the object would have to... I love that they're just talking about him. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. A rubber glove! It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck between the locker door? I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. Can't be sure that was the victim's... That was in the victim's locker. Oh, we literally saw it on tape. Judge, what more do you want? It has a tag that says SL9 incident. This video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. That isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to that. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order, order, order! So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, is not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. I mean, we just proved... Okay, not only do we know you didn't see his face, but we just proved that he didn't... The only way this was for sure Goodman is if he opened Goodman's locker, which he did do, but it was already opened. So it could have been anybody. What more is there to testify about? There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Yeah, okay. So this person has to have Bruce Goodman's card. Okay. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. This is where people went insane because of the fucking dancing badger. There's one other thing that proves the man was the Detective Goodman, sir. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir, solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, no one knows what he might say until the very last second. enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuffs, sir. Keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card... Maybe I should just do this one. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record of the witness referred to. Let me see, yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, don't stare at him. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his arm. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, pull a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw the knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. Problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Wait, is it really obvious? I don't know what to contradict, actually. Let's see. Found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. At the time of the crime, the detective had used the card. Alright. Presenting ID card. Objection! Wrong! Alright. Objection P. I'll be right back, you guys.
Who cares about the camera?
Oh, I didn't see you guys there.
28 stab wounds.
Sorry, I just giving you guys the pangy eye. Alright. The case is heating up. Oh, Sunrise Alex, hello. Welcome to the stream. It's okay, thank you. Alright, let's do this. We got things to do. Have you eaten today? I have eaten today, yes. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. Have you seen him in Marvel Rivals? He ate and left no crumbs. I have not played Marvel Rivals in a few weeks. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. I have to decide on if I'm going out this evening. It's not night this Saturday. Oh, it's not an event night this Saturday, but I go out on Friday. Yeah, didn't you say you were working tonight or something, Barry? I bet he can eat good. Alright, Sunrise Alex, you're giving me weird vibes. What's going on? That makes sense! When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Ah, a lost item report. It's only half complete. But it shows Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say this for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? Oh, you don't work nights. Detective Goodman is kind of Pancor. No, he's not. We've already been over this. Sorry, Twice. You missed the discussion. The toppest tier is Dick Gumshoe, and the second highest is Damon Gant. I want to call him Damon Grant because that's my boyfriend's name. Well, any questions? And honorable mention to Angel Stark for the most iconic behavior. Saying he's 65, is that a problem? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument via this comic book. Oh, I mean, at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. The man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also. I would like to point something out here, and that is that there is no sign on the video that the person posing as Goodman was killed. All we see is an unconscious Meekins. That's it. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place. At the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yes, correct. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. Trustworthy witness. Observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby, but it was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... Wait, do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yeah? Okay, wait, this is also a good point. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. They have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. Prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name? This officer, Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. Call Emma, just for fun. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel like we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. He shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will. Court is now in recess. Subpoenaed. It just means, like, officially called to testify. Oh, is it subpoena? I could see that maybe. It's a confusing word. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Anna, you're the one who knows everything. Come on. Always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. You'd be so cold. Trust us? Trust me? I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, you definitely are, but... Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all the way while on duty. You're cute, so I'll forgive you. Yep. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh, oh, You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Wright's name when making my requests. My name? There is one piece of official artwork of Gumshoe. Oh. Yes, if you could please provide it for chat, Barry, that would be great. Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident case files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. Oh! The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness? Alright, Let's look at it. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Incident number SL9, closed. Perpetrator, Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence, death. Victims. Shit, that is a lot of victims. Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, Witness Lana Sky, Emma Scott. And why have they not told us? Executive Investigators, Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Okay. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, wait, like Jebated? Jebbait? I am curious about this fabled shirtless gumshoe on Ace Attorney.
Trust in the process.
I don't think I see it. I see a lot of fan art. Try official. You put it in visual novels? Oh. This is official art? Oh, there he is! Okay, well... As is expected, he looks great. I don't know most of the characters in this. I see Larry is there. That's Edgeworth in front? Why is the hair the wrong color? Gumshoe chest hair is confirmed. Well. Okay. Oh, good vine. Thanks, Barry. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're gonna just ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark. No. No, Lana! That's over with! No! I mean, didn't we literally talk about how this was a serial murder case in front of Emma? Why would she not immediately know that it was the Joe Dark killings? Is she involved in multiple homicide court cases? Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but, I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention, Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Yeah, that part of the story feels a little messy. Also, it seems like Lana knows exactly what's going on, but isn't telling us for some reason, even though, like, we are fighting for her here. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Drinking in court. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails. Yes, the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind call it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper would sum it up. Maybe it's best we get a move on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the security room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. No, you're not going anywhere. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard. You don't see me come. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Last day of Berry Lock period? Oh, yeah? How long were you growing it? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Ah. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room was so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. So this guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. He said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. A desperado I know lets rules get in the way. Desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. Well, we found your fingerprints inside there, so you are in big trouble. Haven't been in that crypt in weeks. Just between you and me, I didn't do my job. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. Couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. You tell us what you were doing when the crime took place. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. What were you doing at a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Mongol sepia pasta. Mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want a raise this year?" Just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. I definitely think that's a hood. I do not think that's his hair. Yeah, I think it's like a part of the hat, honestly. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay. I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. That is his hair? Oh. Well... So, what do I want to use here? It kind of has to be the handprint, huh? If I remember right, I was at a side street saloon at the time it went down. Spray him with luminol. I like where you're going with this, Tom. I'm gonna present the handprint here. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. Sir? It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall, about the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about the fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. Murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Good point. See? I had nothing to do with it. Witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something. Now's my chance to prove it. I can't believe that's his hair. I literally can't believe it. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. That's because how'd you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. And that, and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. Okay. So he did know about the handprint thing then. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it? So wait, it's updated to found? Oh, on Marshall's own locker is the change. Okay. One of them just happened to be in the same place as the bloodstain. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Isn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. Wanna know why? Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal. Cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder. That's right, although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Yeah, that's interesting. How do you know that? Yeah, same, Barry. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. What did he just call him? There was a blood stain. Oh, there was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? Picture. This sea of blood in the desert, it's just food for buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security. As long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, sir. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. The video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots, places you can't see. Cameras panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was... Yeah, we can. Because we know the person in there visited his locker, and no one else can open it, so... Breaks glass desk. You're wrong! Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video with the audio, please. There he is. Oh, but he doesn't have the hair there, okay. I bet you that isn't his hair. Ring. Also, we should look on his shoulder for a for a wound, because he has a big a big blood spot. Alright, I'm getting ready to pause. Ding, ding. Do. Take that! We love the music, Lisa. Bring our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video! 8 words. Good shit. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. Yes, it does. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. Sucks to admit, but I remember being stuck here for an hour plus because I didn't notice the white cloth. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Bubble Wand. I was gonna say during that like most recent sequence with it, I kind of love that the evidence is based around a video recording that only shows you certain things and you have to spot differences throughout it. Like, I love that type of stuff. I definitely think this trial is doing a lot of things that I think are super cool and super fun. I just hope it makes sense at the end of the trial. Like, the actual storyline of it. I'm worried that it needs to make sense. But the actual investigations here are way better than anything in the previous cases. Like, this is really, really good. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. We've already told him about the fingerprints! I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, it was open. Introducing internet to moms? Oh, Lisa, you don't. Lisa, you don't mean that. Only assigned detectives' prints can unlock it.
Take that!
A fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Let's fucking go! Marshall's our resident boomer. Hey, Starberry. You missed your boy Meekins being cross-examined earlier. That was, about an hour ago.
Yes! Ha ha ha! Yes!
It took us this entire trial so far to realize that that black... I thought it was a black cloth, but it's his hair. Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Please answer the question! What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. I always love when this plays. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Oh then, let's hear it! Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Wait, what do these mean? V and K? Victim and killer? Well, like, this is really contrived. Is that assuming Meekins is killer and other person is victim?
Take that!
Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. Oh! Oh wait, that's true. Oh, nope, objection actually. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. Oh. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card. Pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes. He would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it! If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Okay, so we're gonna talk hard evidence. Person dressed up as Goodman got wounded on the shoulder, or maybe blood splattered from Meekins onto his shoulder, but there's definitely a blood splatter in the video. What was the cloth put in the locker? We literally have your fingerprint on the locker. Which is it? Okay, let's keep going. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. White, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, am I kidding? I don't have anything with that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. Why are you helping me? The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Think outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Don't question it, just accept his feelings. Oh, in response to why is he helping me? I mean, after that one time you made out after case 4, of course he'll give you... Edgy is gay for Nick, of course, he really is. And like... I think Phoenix is into it, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? That we do not... Is it to hide a bloody cloth? You know what else I'm not understanding about this? So, they said that there was a murder at the police department in evidence room, but there's no body? What if there was multiple body doubles? Only one of them was Marshall. The one that was with her was somebody else? We might need to know more about these people. No, they're just victims. Well, but they could be tied to characters involved. Witness. Marshall, Starr, and Goodman were all in on it together, right? I don't know yet. I don't know. It's a, yeah, there's so many, there's a lot of moving parts happening here. Okay, why do we think the locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's arguments, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this white piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my own shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put the white cloth away. Please show us why the witness... Okay. It's gotta be the blood splatter. Like, that's actually it. We still don't know why this has a handprint on it, also. Dude. yeah. Oh. We're gonna pause it.
I can't take this anymore.
Lisa, you love it.
Take that!
For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and enter the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here right now. Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. So, this SL6 incident thing, it's clearly, yeah, it's the driving force here. We know Angel Star and Jake Marshall got basically demoted / fired as a result of working on the case. So that has to be the motive for all this screwiness. Goodman, I still don't know what's happening with Goodman. Is he even dead? Like, what is Edgeworth's involvement here? I don't know. It seems like Edgeworth is not working with them, which is good, but they want to bring Edgeworth down because maybe they're mad about how he handled the SL6 incident or something. All right, seems my time has come. Here we go. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take evidence. Who set up the locker? I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't get caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Yeah, wait, I actually don't get that either. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die.
Hold it!
When you say it, you mean SL6. You even have to ask, partner. Oh, the SL9, not SL6. Fuck. I've been saying SL6 this whole time. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look at evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card! I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. I returned his card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. He pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. How did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. What you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5 a.m. But the blood found at the scene clearly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is the evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Interesting. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why'd you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. That salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. Witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. Why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It Involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something that went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. If I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the case files. Alright. So I feel like the most obvious thing would probably be the files, right? Oh! Victim! Neil Marshall. He's related to one of the victims. Or it was his partner. Sorry, partner. Easy.
Oh my god!
Alright. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. Howdy, Kisuan. Happy Saturday. In a list of murder victims, Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, sure you've heard the name. Phil? Waited too long. What was that sound? What sound? Is my capture card malfunctioning? Please let me know, guys. Sometimes it does produce, it does produce noises. Is it doing that right now? Lisa, I think you might have dropped some coins. That's what I suspect. Two years ago. You received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He's my brother. Oh, it really is his hair! Okay. Okay. Well...
Oh my god!
Yeah, we don't like the hair, Phil. It's over. He's literally Oxlots. Well, it's okay. He was only contending for third place anyway. His brother? Yeah, the brother's much more attractive. Isn't that funny? The second I see long hair on a guy, I'm just like, nope. Bye-bye. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. Sephiroth is crying? I mean, yeah. Why do the hot characters die? I don't know, Lisa. Just how it has to be, I guess. At least we have Gumshoe. It's the flat, no volume middle part. Yeah, it almost looks like it goes downward. Like, it's like... I don't know. Oh, he was in this picture! The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. No! Isawan, the one behind the text box is his brother. See, he's got the little cowboy hat. That's definitely the bro. Jeff? Who? Hey, pal, did I tell you I was thinking about getting... You better not. So wait, that's Jake front and center. And then there's Angel Star on the left, and Goodman on the right, and then this other cowboy hat is the brother, right? Okay, alright, great, we're all on the same page. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Oh, he's scary. Go Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one, which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection!
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted guilty. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Okay. Angel Star literally lied on the stand numerous times, and we're now just treating her word like it means something. I rest my case. Look at her outfit, true. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubts. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Your Honor! Wait! Emma? The defense has an objection. Scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, that Officer Marshall was... what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That only left one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked again. So, did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If ever I've needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object! I literally don't know where this is going. This handprint left at the scene of the crime clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on here? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. Oh, question is, which item can prove something is missing in the... this.
Take that!
What about that piece of plywood? Blue Badger. Mascot of the police force. Defender of truth. Guardian of proof. How does that prove anything? It's blocking the locker the whole time. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in.
Oh my god!
This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. So that means, just what exactly does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, when did you get back here? Think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. By 777777. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. Oh, you're such an idiot. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation.
Yes!
That was Epic 7. Play the animation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. How? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand,
Trust in the process.
from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on the tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. Okay. So wait, were you guys saying the reception of this case was shaky? Because I feel like this case is really good.
Oh my god!
Like, Rosen, you stopped during this case? Have you gone crazy?
Oh my god!
This might be one of my favorite cases we've ever done, to be honest. Like, this is better than most of the GAA cases, too. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Oh, I get it. Well, it occurred at 4:20 p.m. Summarize, the defense claims that Prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of Emma enjoyers in the chat. Does everybody collectively like Emma? I feel like I prefer her to Maya, but that doesn't mean I dislike Maya. I just like Emma. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? Oh, just the time chart. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. You prefer science over whimsy? The only thing I really miss about Maya is doing her voice. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card report! Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would mean 40 p.m. Ah! Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to test the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away. The real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. Epic 7. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, it doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with Epic 7. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. No! He was giving supervillain vibes. I didn't want to believe it. Wait, who's this? Oh, Joe. Yeah, okay. So someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. That's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. An official charge filed against an executive is accepted. Official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries, that's how the prosecutor's office operates. You were the one dressed up as... No, don't. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Huh? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not Epic 7. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In the trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. At the time, we occasionally felt that powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? And you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did. Prosecutor, you didn't! I don't have to, Sir Marshal. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order to for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. See? That's what I'm talking about. No.
Oh my god!
Order! Order! Anna's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos of the courtroom. Hey! Wait, we made it to a save point. Oh, this is actually perfectly timed, because we are 5 minutes past when I was supposed to stop. Wow! What a good segment.
Delightful.
Wowie. If that's true, Starberry, why would you say that? Anyways. We are gonna end for the day. So, we will be back tomorrow. More Cold Steel. More Ace Attorney. I gotta run. But thank you guys for watching. And I will catch you guys later.